Going to try
That's
and
my partner.
thank you, David. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay,
Yes.
I have to introduce myself again. I'm Pat Parent, and my business will be Succeed Beyond. Seeing beyond yourself is success beyond. And I always believe I put the you in there because it starts with you, it starts with us, and it starts being united all together. So this is our project that it's Saskatchewan, Canada, on passive prosperity, second chance with sustainable living. And why I say sustainable, because no one will leave the village unless they have a sustainable living that they can handle. And founders, never give up on your dream. Live your dreams. Mr. Ashes always told us dream bigger. So I had to throw that in there. Yes, I'm from Canada. Let's get together around the world and do things. This is one of Dave's reason with this little guy, and he's from the United States. Thank you, David, my brother.
My pleasure.
And here I have the heart with the rose with ONPASSIVE. And what this represents to me is everyone that leaves our sustainable village will receive a heart with ONPASSIVE and a rose, because then they've succeeded beyond my measures. This is my friend Judy Reese. I wish you were here tonight. This is Brian, and we are from Canada. We are from Saskatchewan, Canada. And this is Dave Rosalsky, and he's from Rockaway, USA. New Jersey, sorry, USA. This is one of our core values: commitment, excellent, trust, and integrity. And I believe those are ONPASSIVE things also. I had to throw this in there. Amen. With Jesus in her heart and coffee in her hand, she's unstoppable. And that's what I believe for myself.
A little engine that can.
Thank you. And another quote that David brought to me was, be sure to put your feet in the right place and then stand firm. So if we surround ourselves with greatness, all things will be done. And lifting up humanity, this is what Oblast is all about. And if we all start here as one founder, and each leaf we keep growing, it's like those apples coming in or oranges, and we keep spreading the seeds. And each seed that gets spread, it grows another tree. Those are my hopes and everyone that I know. Great quotes. What we fear doing most is usually what we need to do. Think positive, and positive things will happen. So I do think positive. I try to turn every negative to a positive. Remember, we are all in this together. Brace yourself. Exciting times ahead. This is my introduction now, but this is my big why. I love the smile. This is my next smile. You see that big bright one there? That's mine. It's been my goal since day one to have my teeth fixed. And with my breathable income, Chris, I'm going to be able to do that. Big journeys begin with small steps, and this is where we're starting. A vocational education. Oh, David, did I go to the wrong spot?
We were going to start with the
Yeah,
nuts
just
and
hang on,
bolts, but we
folks.
can work on this.
Well, we'll talk about vocational education, which is very important, but I will come back to that. I just want to follow our program so that I know. To go
We're
down
going to
to,
lay out the town.
yeah, I need to go to number 35. As you know, I'm not very good with presentations, but I'm doing the best I can today.
It's a
This is
first for both of us, just so
this
you
is
know.
yes, and we're very proud of it. What we came up with today.
Yes, we are.
This is something like the property that I was looking at just outside of Regina. It had the huge Quonset. It had a house, but this is just a diagram. Um, with that Quonset, it would be like a workshop where they can do training for welding, mechanics, um, electrical, your basics, everything that people need to know to start. And what we want to do is build buildings on the outside. And the reason is so that everything is, you can see in between. And each building will lead us, say, a church, a rec center, a educational place. I figure the medical should be on the corner so it's accessible from either way if a plane ever had to land to help someone. We've been thinking lots because we do have Stars Ambulance here, which is in the air. And then on this side, we wanted to have something like, David will go into the different types of housing materials and stuff that we were looking at. But say it was a condo, a house, apartment block, whatever. These are just examples here. And on the outside of the acreage or the land would be all the greenhouses and stuff like that, or different work areas. We could have a cooking area, a sewing area to teach people how to sew the basics, and so on. So we did have another one. We could have this could be where the Quonset is or whatever the meeting center, and build around it in a circle. Because as land is expensive, we may need to start with small parcels. So we can keep going where it can look something like this. You start with one and you keep adding, but all this green space in here would be filled up with gardens or something, because we don't waste any land. So those are just examples that we came up with until we have a property or able to make a total plan. It's just something to get your minds going on things. So I think I need to go back to 25. Yes. And David, I'm going to let you take over and explain the different types of homes that we thought of that we could put on the land to for the environment and stuff. Thank you,
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah. When it comes to the homes, I mean, there are just so many options that we have. You know, like here's an example of an adobe house we can use. We have a photo of other houses, like we can make mud brick homes. Like this is an earthship. This is a wonderful design that I really like. Somebody pioneered it back in the 60s and 70s. It's a nice, good environmental home that's built with recycled materials, tires and things like that. And here's a picture of that. And what they are is earth packed tires for density and strength, which also offers a lot of insulation values in case you're in, you know, colder environments. It's built with a lot of thought and planning that goes into it. You know, it's good for areas that get about 2 inches of rain a year because it's designed to catch all the water and clean it and store it. It's also designed with a gray and black water system, you know, black water being your septic that'll go out to a leach field, and a gray water system that'll go from your shower and your sink out to water your gardens. And it's also got facilities inside if you want to grow your own food or flowers and things like that. So it's a very utilitarian, off the grid, independent setup that'll be, you know, that would be good, because if there's a lot of trash in a lot of areas, well, you got a lot of building materials. It's made with glass bottles, plastic bottles, beer cans, anything you can use, and it all offers good insulation. But we've also got other options like mud brick homes. Like right here, you can build them each brick kind of like adobe, and they go together and they're real cheap. And you can do it right off the land. It's no cost. Another thing about bricks that I heard about was Elon Musk with the boring company, with all that stuff that he's boring out, and he's got an offer for free bricks, which could also be used not only in these towns, but for other projects through OBLESS. I know everybody, you need building materials. Well, Elon Musk will give them to you. I don't know all the whys and what fors. I'm going to find that out and submit it to OBLESS so we all know. But that's an option too. We've got 3D printed concrete homes, which are really interesting. They're good for, hurricane, tornado areas. They're good and strong and durable and very easy and cheap to set up, kind of like the 3D printed homes, but it's just a little more robust. And here's a 3D printed home that you could pretty much set up any which way you want. It's just a matter of how you design the printer and how big an area that it'll print on. Very versatile. The houses go up quickly, inexpensively, and from what I understand, they're very comfortable to live in. So we have all kinds of options. We've got shipping container homes we can do. There's been a lot of people all over the world that have been doing them. There's a lot of really creative places. I've seen them that look like castles. I've seen them that look like warehouses, and I've seen some that look like something Frank Lloyd Wright would design. You've got a lot of really creative people, so they're really good materials and relatively inexpensive to get and use. They have them coming from all over the world, so they're not that hard to get. And as far as the property that we're looking for, you'll want to make sure you've got moving water. This is a nice hydroelectric generator. If you have a river or a lake or a stream, what you do is you dig a little offshoot off of the side, to divert the water over into this generator here. I found it's really amazing. And if you have fish in the lake, live fish, they can go through this particular generator unscathed. They will not get hurt. And then after that, the water gets fed back into the river. So we're not taking anything from the river, or you can divert it off so we can irrigate, our food crops or drinking water, and other options. Other forms of energy we're looking at would be wind. Here's a squirrel cage fan. They're very good, very efficient. There are other kinds also. Like this is a vertical turbine and very powerful. It doesn't take a lot of energy to turn. And if you keep them up in the air, like on top of the buildings, you get them 20 feet, 30 feet in the air, and lay them horizontally so they're stable, kind of on like a lazy Susan, so it spins around. It will produce an inordinate amount of energy. The fellow that was doing the earth ships was using them, and he had to stop using them because he was blowing up his systems for the house. In these cases, for the town, it would be fine because we would be using that town and pumping all that energy to run the entire town, machinery, lights, everything, refrigerators, everybody's homes. So we'll use that energy, and we'll be able to have some left over that we can store for emergencies, or even make the town some money to bring something in so we can do more facilities. We can sell it back to the grid if that's possible in the areas.
Thank you, David.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure.
And also we need to go back to our personal development, which is a big part of any town or village that we wanted to set up. We need the mentoring, the consolidation, all these things that are very necessities. We need our health, the skills, the practice, the talents, the social abilities, the inspirations. So it all goes back to, I'll have to go back here, vocational education. Who can qualify for what? We know with ONPASSIVE, we have an e-learning platform called Academy. We have other platforms that we can use, OConnect, to help keep people connected with their families. With Academy, we can do a lot of training and teaching. So that is a big part of our knowledge that we'll be able to put out there. And as you can see, we'll have schools and online learning. We'll have workshops for any age, because there will be children on these villages and towns or whatever that we decide to build, and help them train to learn. Gardening is a passion of mine. So in Saskatchewan here, it is limited to certain months. But with, like David was telling me, the hydroponics, we can do it inside. I think that's how he calls it. So we can do it inside. Even in the winter, we can grow enough food to help with food banks and be sustainable on the village. We came up with a few different plans and how everyone in this program, I call it a village because I don't like it to be a program, because everyone is human and we all work together and we bless each other together. So if we all work together and donate our time and build the community, they'll live there for free, because everything that we do and we can sell from the village or town will help sustain our free living there for them, so that people can get back on their feet, have the training they need, have the medical care they need. And this was one of our gardens that we thought that we could have in the middle would be us, and then all the way around work things in a circle, because everything works as you educate yourself in a circle with commitment, excellence, and training. And these were some of the different ideas that we came up with the little fish ponds. And David, do you know how, I wasn't sure how you explained these ones.
Yeah, no, it would be a communal greenhouse. We would, have a nice large one. As far as shapes go, I was thinking pyramid because of, all the energy that everybody's talking about it produces. That would help our food grow. But I would also incorporate hydroponics, for people who eat fish. I'd like to try to find some clean fish if possible, something with no mercury or pollutants. Because right now they're saying, well, 10 years ago, they were saying if you eat fish more than once a month, you're putting your health at risk. So I want to get people some healthy food. But we would start in the center with a nice big communal greenhouse set up with aquaponics. Underneath it, we could have a shelter that would double as a hospital, and we could also do our hydroponics underground for the winter growth to keep things going. But surrounding that, we would have our communal gardens, where we would grow all our different crops, and we would rotate everything every season so that we keep the soil fertile and viable and hardy. And then what we would do would be around that, we would do smaller gardens for, personal, preferences. People from all over the world, we're going to be together. You're going to have certain foods that you're going to miss, you're going to want, you really want. So we would have little gardens for that around that, and we could do any kind of communal trading we want with that for foods. And we can even have our own gardens at home. But right here would be, we could also set up little areas where we can grow our herbs and our medicinal plants, get off of big pharma. Let's go back to natural stuff. God gives us everything we need. Why do we have to muck it up? Let's go back to good, healthy, wholesome stuff. We could put together an apothecary. We can do some education in the center so that we can actually learn about the plants in the environment, their healing properties, and all the different things that they want to do. We can grow hemp for textiles, make all our own textiles, make clothes. We can make all kinds of other things. As far as our refuse goes, we could use compost and turn it into biodiesel in different areas. And what was this one? Oh yeah, and these are just little layouts for people that want to have, their nice little personal gardens. There's this big movement for 4 foot, 4 square foot gardens, 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. They say you can grow enough food for a family in that space. So, we can do, probably something bigger than that for people so they can grow more food. But, it's food, 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 because anything, we're going to sustain ourselves. And we also want to sustain other people at the food banks, at the soup kitchens, at the churches, and, anything that we can help people with, we will. We can take a lot of this food that doesn't go to people, won't get eaten, and we can bring it back to the community, and we can prepare it. We can freeze dry it and, do like those MREs, meals ready to eat, the dehydrated, the survival foods, for hard times. And we can pack it up so it'll last 25 years. We can even ship that, to third world or other places that are in disaster that need good, wholesome meals so that they can sustain themselves to get through their situations. So food is imperative. Food is life. God gave it to us, and we should propagate it as much as we can.
And also with our garden centers and stuff, because we have people with disabilities and maybe in wheelchairs or walkers or with canes, we would make the raised bed areas so that they're accessible for them also. And
Thank you, Pat. I
also,
forgot.
that's okay. But you need a certain material that the wheelchairs don't get stuck in stones or grass and make it harder for them to get through. So I know there is that rubber sort of pavement that you can put down. So there's different ideas that we can come up with. And we just came and picked out some pictures to show you different areas that you can plan if you had the large area of a farm area. But as you see back here, there's an entertainment place back here that you need also, with a swimming pool or whatever to sustain. And Chris, this is because you have one in your place. I keep thinking of it.
You know what? I want to move there right now because I'm really liking this neighborhood you're building. Pretty cool, guys.
Thank you. So if we have the greenhouses back here and all the plots and stuff here and the entertainment. So when it is in Saskatchewan or wherever these are built, when it's really hot, you can go for a dip. You can go for a swim, take a break. We're not here to overwork anyone. We're here to have a sustainable life, learn, teach, and move, and keep moving. So this is something like the farm area, with the gardens around it and and it's just different dreams and passions that I've had, and many, many founders, and David and Judy and Brian, we've all worked together building different ideas. I wish they were here. They could have did most of the talking, but I'm grateful God has given me the chance tonight to show it and explain it. And it's beautiful, folks. It's beautiful. I just need the vision. I can vision it. I manifest it. I see it done, because all things are possible. Nothing is impossible. So I believe that's our presentation for tonight. It's just a few things that we've been working on.
One more thing we forgot to mention with the housing, and we also want to have different housing. We want to have housing for families, but everybody's got their own situation. We want to have housing for women for whatever situation, battered, single, lots of different, troubles and tribulations that women go through. And it's horrible. So they need a safe place that they can go. We need for children. We've got, people that'll need some, rehab or have some, some sort of emotional or, some sort of emotional issues that they need to get some special care for. We got the military, we'll probably get a lot of those in there. They're going to have their own, demons that they're going to need to fight. And we'd like to, in that situation, we would like to get people that can really give them some help, not just placebos, drug them up and have a nice day. We want to help these people get their lives back, get a grip on their lives again, so that they can take the steering wheel and be part of society.
We are all human and we all deserve a second chance. And God bless each and every one of you for listening tonight. Thank you, Chris, for allowing us to share. Thank you, thank you. I will stop screen sharing unless anybody has any questions.
Yeah,
I
you
got
can-
one more thing to say. Pat wasn't expecting this, but I got to say something. On anything I've ever worked on, I've always run into people that are hard-headed and, you know, unwilling to listen. If anybody ever gets an opportunity to work on a project with Pat Parent, do yourself a favor and take it up. I have never met it, you know, there are so few people with as much heart, love, and compassion for people like her, Ash, you know, they're Gandhi. You know, I put her up there. She's good people, you know, she keeps God first, she keeps the heart and people second. And I got to say, not only was it a pleasure, but it's a real honor to work with her. And I look very forward to working on all our projects that we have in the future. And thank you, Pat. You made this a wonderful experience for me.
Thank you, David. I'm grateful to be your friend and your sister. Thank you.
You are. And I love you, Pat. You're great.
Love you too.
Wow.
Do you want me to stop screen sharing?
Yeah, you
Chris?
can stop screen sharing because I definitely want everyone to see it.
We are open for opinions, options, whatever. Like I said, it's just a plan that we're putting together. We haven't talked to the city or anything. So if anybody knows any engineers that can help us or anyone that is, I'm open for help for everything. Because like I said, I'm a one finger typer, but this one finger got a long ways today. But no, I do. We all need help in every area. So please reach out. I'm looking for help in everything. And so is David and Judy and Brian and everyone else here. Because as I always say it, it's not an I project, it's a we. And if we can always say we, we'll go a lot farther and we'll keep moving. Thank you.